and he has specialized in derivatives like gold, oil indices, as well as currencies. His biggest challenge in his life came when he moved an account from 3,000 Ghana cedis to about 20,000 Ghana cedis. Then he moved it to 100,000 Ghana cedis plus during the pandemic COVID-19 season. He explains this and says that it was a time where experience, knowledge, and consistency came to play. He has gone on to manage trading portfolios for over millions of dollars. His current net worth surpasses the $1 million mark, as it was his long-time target to be a billionaire before the age of 30. Over the last few years, he has actively mentored several other young people who have also gone ahead of him to become full-time financial traders. Bright, as he is affectionately and known by his father and mother, only went into trading after national service in 2016 with National Petroleum Authority. So he was doing his national service and he went into trading in the year 2016. So from 2016 up until 2022, we are talking 6 years analyzing the financial market. Bright Kojo Onipayede, popularly known as Kojoforex in the media circle. He is only 28 years old, an old student of University of Ghana, Legon Business School, Bachelor's of Science and degree in administration with specialization in accounting. Ladies and gentlemen, he is currently involved in full-time trading, real estate development, and traveling around the world. Let's welcome Kojoforex, Bright Onipayede. Let's appreciate him.
I'm so overwhelmed, trust me guys, I'm so overwhelmed, but we'll definitely do this, right? Before I start my session, I know the utmost reason why a lot of people are here, but we arranged it this way because obviously we knew that for most Forex seminars, it serves usually one aspect of people and then leave others really not knowing what they really came for, right? So we decided that for this purpose, we're going to serve somebody who came because they know nothing about Forex. They want to learn what is all this Forex about. And then at the same time, okay, now you know what Forex is about. How do you even trade? Where? Which platform? What do you do? That's why we put Joe Trader in the middle, right? And then me, which is like, like how do we trade, you know? So I'm down on the stage to come and show you basically the technical aspect of how things work in the Forex market, right? But you guys have been sitting for a long time, right? Which is kind of like, I mean, I'm a little bit of a military blood person, right? So when I see body language, I can read that the atmosphere is a little bit dull, right? So you guys would do me the honor, right, of standing up for a minute, right? Not up to a minute, but like for the moment, right? I need everybody to stand up, right? Everybody stand up top. 1, 2, 3. King of Blues. It's okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. My personal background, right, so that some of you can really like relate to it, right? It may look all flashy and rosy today, right? But to tell you the truth, it didn't really start from this form, right? Man has had various forms of experiences and life challenges that has kind of brought us to this point, and then today I can stand in multitude of people like you, right? And I kind of appreciate the fact that I went through all those processes, right? If you sit back today and then you reflect, you kind of think that maybe those difficulties were just preparing you for a day like this, right? I attended St. Joseph Senior High School, JHS, which is in La Paz, right? So I've really walked through the corners of La Paz, you know? And during that time, my mom operated they call it beer bar or sport or whatever it is, right? I literally stayed in that beer bar to complete my junior high school. So you can imagine the noise, the smokes, the drinks, everything going on. But one young guy was so determined that amidst all these difficulties, noise making, smoking, drinking, music playing, I was so focused that, look, I'm still going to take my book seriously and then go to an appreciable senior high school in Ghana. Fast forward, I got admitted to Agri Memorial. Now, when I went to Agri Memorial, it was my first choice, right? I was so proud, thinking that, yeah, I've got my first choice. Then I went there, and then in my first dormitory, everybody's complaining, look at this school, what kind of school is this? They don't have this, they don't have that. I chose in front of him, I just sat there, they didn't give me, this is my third choice. But here was me, so grateful to God that I've come to my first choice school, right? So it tells you that in life, you can make the most out of every situation depending on how you value it. Most people don't value their parents' terrain. They see something, they're like, but you know how much you can make out of that thing? Don't joke, it's so serious. So in school, I never took things lightly because I felt like God has really listened to that prayers of mine, wanting to really be in this institution. So school, prep, everything, I'm there, learning 247, not playing at all, teaching people here and there, right? That was in was in art class. But going into Form 2, then I wanted to be in the business class. I went to the business class, my first examination, I came out with a 38th position out of a student of about 50 or 60. I'm like, no, this is not my portion, right? I need to level up because this is my first choice school and I need to do better. Fast forward, the next term I came up at 4th position and that was it. I was like, I'm never going back, right? I kept at it until fast forward, university 2. In applying for university, my family were like, Ghana, you cannot be reliable on one source, so buy 3 forms, buy 4 forms, buy tech, buy UCC, buy Legon. If anyone picks you, then I'm like, no. I want to attend the University of Ghana, and I want to read accounting. So I'm going to buy University of Ghana, and I'm going to choose business school. If anything at all, then I'll consider, no offense, right? But law as my second choice. So I chose law. And if anybody remembers from 2012, one of the most difficult periods to have admission into the university, right? Because a lot of students perhaps were so smarter than the GES even anticipated, right? So a lot of 6As and stuff like that. But nonetheless, we were able to make our way through and then went to the University of Ghana Business School, and then God being so good, completed with a reasonable, I'm saying reasonable because I didn't get first class, but I still, passed with a reasonable class, and then was so favored to do my national service at the National Petroleum Authority. And then one of my lifelong goals was to join the military. Now, why did I want to join the military? Before that, I had always known that one of the key areas that most people have failed when it comes to the aspect of trading, right? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? That has failed people a lot. Discipline. Perfect. Discipline. Right? Now you may wonder, how did you know that at that level? Because as Mr. Smart introduced me, it's like I started trading from was it national service, right? I actually started trading in my first year in the University of Ghana, which is level 100, 2012. That was partially. So full time is from 2016 to date, but partially I've been trading, so I knew that I was making most of those mistakes that most of you are already making, which is that indiscipline aspect. So I wanted to get myself involved in the military. I felt like there's a good atmosphere for me to really break that discipline and then apply it on the market, which is utmost. We really talk into those aspects as well. So the sad aspect of it is that I qualified in all spheres, right? But the military says, no, just go and probably do something else. And then I sat with my own self and I considered that, look, I have the skills of trading. I've been trading, making money from 2012, scalping. It wasn't on the big scales, small scale, $300, $400. I take all the little profits, $100, $50, $20, $10 profits. I'm always, scalping. I actually started scalping, just taking all the little profits in the market, you know. So I felt like, well, this could be like a new source for me, you know, and then just, you know, sit in my own corner room and then be making this money and then feeding myself. I was not really thinking that, okay, I want to be a trader because I want to buy the Lamborghini, the Benz, you know. I was just looking for a self-subsistence means, which was trading, you know. But after school, then I realized that now all my career path is deviating. So the only means that can really gear me towards what I need is obviously the trading. So I decided to take it on a full skill level, right? Now the story about how I decided to take it on a full skill level is a very sad one, right? It started on a very sad note. I'll tell you guys that experience. You know, when we started, everybody has been telling their experience about that, right? Which is like blowing that account, right? So I'll tell you my story as well. So I saved up some money, right? During my national service, I saved up some money. And then, based on my own knowledge, I felt like I was really prepared, you know. I've been learning a lot of stuff here and there, using some indicators, mixing some stuff, you know. I was not really seeing anybody doing Forex at that time, so like, yeah, I just felt like, yeah, I'm top of my game, like full-time trader. I've saved out some, you know, national service money, and then a few of my friends, right, one roommate of mine, so I asked him, look, let's put some money together, let's attack this market, let's make the most out of it. So we funded a $2,000 account, right? That was like our whole life net worth, right? We put everything in there, 2,000. If you raise us up, you turn us and you shake us, nothing will come again. The 2,000 was the only thing that we had on us. So we put it on the market, we were trading, right? Making the usual gain. $100 we will withdraw, $500 we will withdraw, $400 we will withdraw. You understand the repetitive thing I'm saying? We do what? We withdraw. Why are we withdrawing? Because that's why we're trading. You know, we're not trading for the fun of it. See the money and be happy and smile. You know, widen our teeth. Hey, profit. You know, we want to make money. We want to like withdraw, right? There was this fateful day where I saw a massive opportunity in GBP USD, right? That's why I think the anger of that incident was what made me really decide that I'm going to master the GBP pairs, right? So I took a lot of positions on the GBP USD. Lo and behold, it did go in my favor. I didn't blow it. I'm sure most of you are expecting me to say I blew it. I didn't blow it. I took that $2,000 to 3,800 in a span of 1 hour, right? Now this is me perching in a friend's house. I didn't even have a room of my own. And I've seen a profit of what? 3,800, which can literally rent me an accommodation for the next 2 years and think of where life will take me next, right? And you guys might have heard common mention in one guy, probably has had experiences with all of us, his name is Oti, right? Now I saw 3,800. I was so astounded because it's like probably the first time I flipped like an account that huge like that. I didn't know what to do. So I hit my booty. Look at this 2,000 that we are managing small. It's now 3,800. What should I do? Should I close the profit? What should I do? What should I do? Who has ever been in that situation and wanted an opinion from a friend before? Has anybody you're trading but you don't know what to do, you're asking, what should I do? This should be the last day of that experience, Don't ask any friend for any experience, Trading, we say, is idea meritocracy business, right? I'm sure it's the first time most of you are hearing that word. Idea meritocracy in the sense that if you're wrong, blame yourself. If you make the money, heal yourself up. No, okay, this one gave me the advice, that's why I made the money, or this one gave me the advice. I listened to Mr. Oti. Now, what did he say? He said, 3,000 or Manenko 4,000. Manenko 4,000. That word rings in my head to date. I never went to that 4,000. That experience alone taught me so many things, including including discipline, including greed. You know, trading, we say it can teach you some of the hidden bad attitude in you that you never know you have. You know, if you don't believe it, fund a $2,000 account and go on this journey. I never knew that was greedy, because this is greed. I've made over 98% in the span of 1 hour. A finance accounting graduate return. You learned that if you put money into treasury bills, into bonds, into this, you are not even going to get like 15, more than 20%. In an hour, you've made 98%. They're still asking somebody for an opinion. If it's not greed, what again is it? You know? The funny aspect of that incident is that the money came all the way down to 2,000, which is like my equity. So I was in a loss of 1,008, right? I could have closed that loss and be like, okay, restart mode, let's start this thing again. My ego also set, which is also another problem that a lot of you also face. Ego, right? Like, I've seen 1,008, it was a profit. Why has it become lost? Me close it. You know, I won't close it, it will come back. I held on to this trade. The 1,000 equity became 1,005. 1,005 became 1,500, 300. Then my friend I put money to is like, yeah, I'm closing out there, yeah, I'm 300, no, that's just, you know, and just like Common said, it drew some points now. When you're at that point, they're like, you know, we lost it all. We lost that money, and it took me 2 months to recover from that experience. You know, 2 good months to recover from that experience, because I went into, you could call it a depression mode, right? I went to hide in my hole again. You know, some Pokuaa corner hole, me alone knew that zone. You know, and then I'm like, my only assets in that era in my life was my laptop and my mobile phone. Right? I'm like, let me just go hide in that corner, my bed. The only thing that was a luxury in that room was probably the fan that my father later came to put in that room for me, you know. And this is real life story. This is not like, you know, me making up things for you. This is real experience that I'm telling you. And I know that some of you relate, you know, some. How many of you relate to? How many of you? Don't be shy, you know, because when Smart was asking a question, he was like, how many of you are worth or have up to the tune of 30,000 Ghana cedis, and then nobody raised. I'm like, look at these liars, you know. You have this Madam Doctor here, she has like a lot of money. Hiram Della drove in his BMW. How can you say you don't have 30,000? But I know that most people want to be modest, which is like, okay. He was also asking that, how many of you have made a profit of $1,000? And then everybody was like down there like that. You know, I see a lot of conservativeness here. But it is okay, you know, in a crowd like this, you're just thinking in your head, I mean, raising and son will be like it's normal, you know. So it's fine to keep your opinions to yourself, you know. But in that room, I started asking myself so many critical questions. One of it is that, like, how do I really analyze this market? Who started all this analysis thing? You know, how does the market really work? Like, where do I even start from? You know, then that moves on to me beginning, like, you know, my slide. One thing I need to even chip in is that, how many of you really know that sometimes, right? Sometimes in life, this real life, hunger, right? Hunger. It can bring out the best in you, right? You never know that you have some talent or you have some energy until you are really hungry, you know, and you are determined. You are the most powerful man, a hungry man and a determined man. You can't solve that one. 2016, hunger and determination, even though I had the know-how, right, and the tactics, knowledge, everything, right? I'm not shy to say this, but led me to writing this book, right? The Rules of Study. Now I was done with national service. I had like 1 year home doing nothing. I'm like, okay, military, no. This, no. All the bank applications, no. I might as well just, you know, because I read a lot. So let me just write about how I've studied and passed all these courses, grades, good grades. Everybody say, yeah, you're good in school, you get ahead, That period, right? So is what hunger, determination combined produced this magnificent book that is like a masterpiece, right? So masterpieces, we usually have it in limited copies. So I only printed less than 500 copies. I'm like, I'm not going to publish it in any publishing house. I'm not going to do this. Let me just keep it on a special location, which is something like this. Anybody who's interested, buy it. It's not going to be on Amazon. It's not going to be on anything. You purchase it, it's a lifelong property. So it's what? A limited copy. We'll talk about that later, right? But one thing that I believe that you must start off with, generally, not only related to trading, but in life as a whole, right? To be able to be on that success path is your mindset, right? That takes us to talking about what? Mindset preparation, right? Now, a lot of people, based on their past experiences, based on like their, like me citing a similar example of the things I went through, if you don't have a strong mind, you can easily think that maybe you can inherit your parents' lifestyle or your orientation, physical environment. You've always been in adverse conditions. But if you have a strong mind, I hope the people at the top two are relating to what I'm saying, right? If you have a strong mind, you can already conquer the world. So success in life, success in trading, you have to, for the most part, assume that optimistic lifestyle. Every time positive. You do not want to allow any room for negativity in your life. See yourself as that level. Peg yourself to the utmost. Every time you are the smart one, every time you are the, rich man, every time peg yourself there. Start from your mind. If you don't really put that skill up there, knowing that, look, every time you are calling and then, we call it the power of attraction. I'm sure some of you have even read that book, right? If you see this, it says what? The right to be rich. Everybody here has the right to be rich. Riches were not made for a set of class. Riches were not made for somebody who's like a student or he's been saying or speaking big English or, or somebody who has some technical skills about something so special, so that person is okay for him to be rich. Like, because look at the way he's speaking this. Riches were made for everybody. I've known people who were basically like, started from shoemaker. They are all the way up there. We guys who brought Bugatti into Ghana, despite. Look at his story. He was selling cassettes, blah, 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 and then now he's here. So in any field at all, one can be rich, So don't ever see yourself as that person who has just been, drawn into some part and then you cannot really reach, riches in your life. You understand me? Everybody has the right to be rich, right? And when I talk about riches, I'm not talking about it in a very figurative way, in the sense that, it's a subjective matter. If you are rich, then you have your room, you can eat, you can, sponsor some people, you are rich. No, we're talking about riches that can really ascertain you or spearhead you to achieving your personal goals, right? The world is currently aligned in a way that if you don't have money, you cannot even achieve your goals. If you want to study abroad, if you want to become a pilot, if you want to become everything, whatever it is, if you want to even be successful in trading, you definitely need to be rich, to some extent. I will go deeply into that as well. This you're seeing is my first trading setup, I started, my first original trading setup was my mobile phone. Every trader usually have their mobile phone as their first trading setup, right? Then I moved on to laptop, but for a station desk, this you're seeing here was my first trading station desk, right? Now, why I'm showing you this is for you to understand the process, right? Life is really a process. If you're here, you're inspired, you watch me on Instagram Live, maybe I'm always showing you traveling here and there, but it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of dedication and experience, some of which I've shared with you, until it is where it is today, This one here is my second trading setup. I felt like, I've upgraded a little bit. I'm monitoring so many stuff. it's time to add on extra screens, and I had this full setup, right? Now, I've shared this most times in my live sessions. I've also shared it also on various seminars and sessions that I've held. But most people don't prioritize like trading to that level. If you're here, it means that you have interest in trading. You have that embedded in you. Just like somebody says you want to be. What kind of example can I relate? Like a videographer. You go and buy your camera and then editing software and stuff like that. So you want to be a trader. You need to have a trading desk.